PEC Education is one of the leading PTE test preparation centers in Dhaka, Bangladesh. PEC provides online and on-campus PTE preparation with authentic study materials and practice PTE mock tests. The pie charts show the blood types that are present in two countries, Iceland and Norway. In Iceland, O is the most common blood type, found in around 60% of the population. About 1/3 have type A blood. Type B is rarer and type AB is rarer still. In Norway, around half the population have type A blood and type O is found in about 40%. The figures for the other two types are similar to Iceland.
The graph shows the dimensions of three suspension bridges. The longest is the bridge in Japan. This is around 1,900 meters long, just under 2,000 meters, and its towers are about 280 meters in height. The next longest bridge is in Turkey and is only slightly shorter than the one in Japan. Its height is around 250 meters, while its length is around 1,500 meters. The bridge in the USA is the smallest and shortest of the three.
The graph shows the percentage of people who volunteered in the UK between 2013 and 2018. It shows those who volunteered at least once a month and compares this to those who volunteered for at least once in 12 months. Both frequencies of volunteering follow a similar pattern. There has been a downward trend between 2013 and 2014, and then a fairly stable amount of volunteering afterwards. Around 60% of people volunteer once a year, while around 40% volunteer around once a month.
The bar graph shows the percentage of consumer expenditure in the U.S. between the years of 2017 and 2018. By far the biggest expense was housing, taking 33% of an American's income. In contrast, the lowest amounts were spent on education, consisting of just 2.4%. It is interesting to note that spending on transport accounts for just under half of the housing budget, and this, according to the figures, accounts for more consumer spending than either food or insurance.
The graph shows the percentage of the Canadian population who drive between 2016 and 2019, and the information for men and for women is shown. We can see that the percentages of men and women who drive are both increasing, but the number of women driving is increasing fastest. Whereas in 2016 more men in Canada drove, at around 30% compared to 25%, by 2019 there were more women driving, at just over 50% compared to 50% of men.
The graph shows the average travel time to work using various modes of transport, which goes up to a maximum of 60 minutes. The longest commute on average was by rail, which took just under 60 minutes. In comparison, the shortest average commute was on foot, where people spent an average of around 15 minutes getting to work. Commuting by car and bus took almost equal amounts of time, around 40 minutes on average. Commuting by motorbike took slightly longer than cycling, both taking between 20 and 25 minutes.
The table shows what gifts people plan to buy for next Mother's Day in the US. The majority said that they are going to buy a card, and this is followed by flowers, with over half of the people choosing them as gifts. Clothing is less popular. The cost of the different items is very different. The most expensive are flowers, at $20.31, a little over the average that people expect to spend on clothing. Greetings cards are a much cheaper option.
The bar chart shows the participation of men and women in sports in the UK in 2008. The two most popular sporting activities for both males and females were going to the gym or fitness centre and swimming, with around 15% of the male and female populations participating in each. More men went cycling than women. Around 15% of men cycled compared to just 5% of women, and it was a similar story with football, with around 15% of males and just 1% of females playing the sport. Women were more likely to enjoy yoga, though.
This chart shows the energy drink consumption in the EU by 3 to 60-year-olds between 2010 and 2020. The levels in 2010 and 2017 were the same, at 500 million litres consumed. It is interesting to note there was a peak in 2014 where they went up to 600 million litres, but the biggest jump, perhaps most significantly, was in 2020 when it went up by 300 million litres in the space of 3 years.
The two charts show the activities of students after leaving college with a first degree or a postgraduate degree. 67% of the postgraduates got full-time jobs while only 55% of the first-degree students found full-time employment. However, 20% of the first-degree students found part-time jobs, compared with 14% of the postgraduates. More students with a first degree went on to do further studies, and there was slightly more unemployment among